Hi guys, Mark the Knife Maker 123 back with another short video. I'll try and make this one a little bit clearer than the ones that I've made up until now. I'd like to thank Hiram Cook again for your videos. Every chance I get I go back to watch a couple more. Your alcohol burner tests are just so detailed. I just wanted to thank you again before I started to babble about my first aid kit ideas. This will be a quick video about some of the first aid stuff that I have, that I use, that I've tried. The first thing I would suggest to everyone is to go and talk to your doctor. If this is something you've been doing and your doctor knows you, forget everything else in your first aid kit. If you break a leg, if you stab yourself, chop a finger off or something, the normal Motrin and aspirins aren't going to cut it as far as a painkiller goes. So go and talk to your doctor. Mine does understand. If I don't use these, I take them back to her when the expiration date comes up. And anything with a Dean, she gives me 20 at a time. Again, what I don't use, I bring back to her so she knows that I'm not abusing this. These are very powerful painkillers. It's considered a controlled substance. But if you go and talk to your doctor, it's pretty much the only way you're going to get painkillers that are really going to make a difference. If you're up in the woods in the middle of Pennsylvania and you fall out of a tree and break your leg, break a collarbone or something, taking a couple Advil or Aleve is not going to do anything. Taking a couple of these, it's going to make you float, but it's going to make it a little bit more bearable until help can come to get you. So again, if you're going to be out in the woods, if you're going to be playing with all the hatchets and the saws and the knives and building fires and practicing all this stuff, you're going to get hurt. So go and talk to your doctor, tell your doctor what's going on. I'm sure he or she will prescribe you 10 to 20 some serious painkillers. That's my personal advice. I've learned the hard way. Having a couple really strong painkillers is going to make things a lot more bearable. As far as the rest of my first aid kit, it varies, it changes. This one here is all see-through plastic case. This goes into my Alice pack. It really doesn't weigh that much. I'm not a paramedic. So again, talk to your doctor about basic management as far as injuries go. What the doctors would like you to do and not like you to do, like trying to sew your own cuts and wounds, it can be very dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing and you're not prepared, I would again talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, that can give you the best advice about what you're carrying and how to use it. So what I have is the stuff that I've used and I might need, that I know how to use. Some wet ones, some Ziploc bags. Never can tell when it's going to come in handy. More Ziploc bags with alcohol wipes, some Q-tips, some antibiotic cream, some burn cream, the Motrin, the Imodium IV, the Tylenols, and that. I always carry a couple of those, but I'll get into the bigger ones. A razor, just in case. It couldn't hurt to have one. Another bag with all different size Band-Aids, the good cloth ones, in a Ziploc bag. A couple rubber gloves, you never can tell. Bigger Pureed, the great big Band-Aids that already have the antibiotic cream on them. A great big tube of Neosporin generic antibiotic cream. You smear that on whatever. That's the first thing you just smear that on. I have a snap light, a solar blanket, the Swiss Army knife, Swiss card. It's got the scissors, the tweezers, and all that stuff in there. A bottle filled with Aleve, ibuprofen, and a couple other, I forget what kind, but I've got like 24 of each kind in there because everybody likes something different. You find out the hard way that one guy likes Bear, one guy likes Aleve, one guy wants Motrin, so I carry a selection all in the same one. 10-ounce secrets. If having a sore throat really sucks. So This tin you can use to make the char cloth. I don't make char cloth. I have alcohol, I have fire starters and that, but if you wanted to make the char cloth and you're bored, this tin works really good for it. Sorry, get a little sarcastic. These little dollar Tupperware containers, they're handy to have because you can keep capules of stuff that you really wouldn't want to get wet at all because they just dissolve. This time of year is cold and flu season, so having more than just one or two, if you're out again for a couple days and you get the flu, you get something, to have enough that'll get you through 3-4 days. If you're going to carry something, I wouldn't suggest just carrying 2 painkillers, 2 Tylenols. It's nice to have the Tylenols. They come in the handy packs and the kits, but what are you going to do with just 2? What if you're out for 3-4 days? Benadryl. I carry a whole thing filled with Benadryl. Is good for 97 different things. Having a full thing of Benadryl, again, comes in handy. These things, all different things. It just couldn't hurt to have it with you. So your number one thing is you just go and see your, go and talk to your doctor. Have your doctor prescribe you some real painkillers. That's going to make the difference between being really miserable or pain-free until help comes to you. You can carry the cold packs, but if you pop them when you're going to need them, they're not going to be any good. So these are kind of big and bulky. I choose not to carry one of these. You can carry some icy hot. That works just about as good, and this tube will get you through days. If you get a cramp in your leg or your arm or anything, this stuff you just wipe it on. You can carry these great big trauma packs, but unless you're going to carry a whole assortment of them, it's not really worth just carrying one. You can use a t-shirt or something like that. I have everything that you could name, all different full-size numbing creams, burn creams, all kinds of creams and stuff, but you got to take it out and you got to find out what works. Go through all your stuff, rotate it out. Go talk to your doctor about just the basic, simple, first aid advice. What he or she would recommend you do for the kinds of injuries you're going to get when you're out, and hopefully they'll understand and give you the painkillers that'll help you manage that pain through a couple of days. Being stranded out in the middle of nowhere. That's the number one thing that I could suggest and stress enough is to go talk to your doctor and get some serious painkillers that you can add to your kit and have with you just in case. The rest of this stuff, unless you really know what you're doing, it's just Band-Aids and antibiotic cream. So unless you know what you're doing, the trauma kits and all that, they're not going to do anything. If you're not going to have enough to get you through, like a week, I try and keep a week's supply of everything. If you're going to carry this in your Ellis pack, have enough of everything that'll last you through a week. If you need, if you get a sore throat for a couple of days, you can't just have 2. You got to have the whole box. So find out the hard way what works, or be prepared. I'd rather have too much than too little. So thanks for watching. I go through some of the smaller kits that I carry in my fanny packs and my pocket kits, but basically the only time I carry a really big first aid kit is in my Alice pack, because that's the only thing that has enough of a variety. I mean, you can put together little Altoid first aid kits that has one Band-Aid in it and a needle and a safety pin, but you can only do so much with the Altoid tins. So have fun with those kits. Thanks for watching. Leave comments. That's it. Hopefully I can make some more that are a little bit better than the ones that I had on making. So thanks for watching.